In the ancient days, when the world still shimmered with unseen enchantments, and giants ruled the northern wastes, there lived a princess whose beauty was matched only by the fierce flame of courage in her heart. Princess Brunhilda of Bohemia was no fragile rose confined to palace gardens. She was a spirit of wind and fire, whose laughter echoed across the battlements and whose gaze could silence even the most brazen suitor. Many came to win her hand, parading their wealth and vanity before the throne. "Your Majesty," declared one, "I offer 3 castles and 1,000 golden ducats for your daughter's hand." "I'll double that," boasted another, "and throw in my finest stallions." Brunhilda arched a brow, her voice as sharp as tempered steel. How romantic. Am I livestock at the farmer's market now? Her father, the weary king, sighed in dismay. Brunhilda, show some respect. But she only smiled, for she knew her worth was not to be measured in coins or castles. Then came a quiet knock at the great hall doors. "Your Majesty," the herald announced, "a prince from the Har Mountains requests audience." The doors creaked open, and into the golden light stepped Prince Heinrich. He was not the richest nor the most adorned, but there was something in his calm bearing that made the hall itself seem to still. "Your garden, my lady," he said softly, "puts our mountain wildflowers to shame." Brunhilda's eyes sparkled. "Ah, but wildflowers have something these roses lack." "And what might that be?" he asked. "Freedom," she replied, "the freedom to grow where they choose." In that instant, Heinrich understood her heart completely. Not all cages were forged of iron. Some were woven of silk, gold, and duty. He bowed low. "Then perhaps," he murmured, "someone should offer you the freedom you seek." "And what manner of sorcery would that be?" she teased. "The magic," he said, "of choosing your own path." At that, Brunhilda's heart stirred as though awakened by an ancient song. "Then I pledge my heart to that magic and to you," she whispered. "And I swear," Heinrich vowed, "by the mountain peaks that call me home, I shall love no other." But destiny, ever jealous of mortal joy, had other plans. The ground trembled, goblets rattled, and shadows devoured the hall as a monstrous figure loomed beyond the palace gates. Word had reached even the frozen lands of the north, the tale of a princess whose beauty rivaled the dawn. Odo of the northern wastes, a giant born of ice and stone, had come to claim her. His voice thundered like an avalanche. "Little king," he roared, "Odo tired of empty halls. Odo take what fills them." The courtiers trembled as his eyes, cold and hungry, fell upon Brunhilda. "Stories not lie," he rumbled. "You shine brighter than the sun. Odo happy. Odo keep what Odo likes." The princess stood unflinching. "I'm not a prize to be claimed," she said. "Everything can be claimed," Odo sneered. "Even mountains bow to me." "The lady is spoken for," Heinrich declared, stepping forward. The giant laughed, the sound echoing like thunder. "This twig man," he mocked. Odo crushed mountains with one hand. His laughter died, replaced by menace. 3 days. Make ready the ceremony, or Odo take her anyway and burn your palace for sport." When he left, the walls seemed to sigh in relief. That night, the court whispered of doom. Brunhilda turned to Heinrich, her eyes aflame. "We must leave tonight," she said. "He'll hunt us down before we reach the city gates," Heinrich warned. "There might be another way," she insisted, her voice low. "I overheard his guards. He brought his own horses, 2 magnificent steeds. They say they're faster than any creature alive." Heinrich's eyes widened. "You're suggesting stealing from a giant?" "Borrowing," she corrected. "What we need to survive." "It's too dangerous," he said, but Brunhilda shook her head. "This is my battle now." Together they crept to the stables where moonlight danced upon the giant steeds, a white stallion and a brown mare, both otherworldly in beauty. "The brown one seems gentler," she whispered. "If you truly mean to do this madness, take my ring," said Heinrich, pressing it into her palm. "When you reach the Har Mountains, show it to any villager. They'll know you're under my protection, and if I don't reach the mountains," she asked, "then I'll search every realm until I find your soul," he swore. The plan was set. Tomorrow night, during the wedding feast, when the giant's guard was dulled by wine and pride, Brunhilda would ride for freedom. For even the fairest rose, she whispered, must sometimes choose between the garden's safety and the wild unknown. The eve of the dreaded ceremony arrived. Odo feasted, roaring with drunken laughter. "Tomorrow," he bellowed, "Odo wed! No more empty hall!" His servants cowered while Brunhilda, draped in silver silk, smiled sweetly, waiting for her moment. As night deepened, she slipped away, her heart pounding like war drums. In the stables, the brown mare nickered softly. "Easy, brave one," Brunhilda murmured, stroking her mane. "We're both prisoners here, aren't we?" She glanced at the enchanted saddle, its reins glimmering with runes. "Swift as storm winds," the drunken guards had said. "Then carry me home on the wind's back," she whispered, and leapt astride. From the shadows, Heinrich's voice called softly, leaving without farewell. "It's safer this way," she said. "Follow the river until the stone bridge," he instructed. "Then ride toward the morning star. If he follows, pray your mare is truly as swift as the wind. Until we meet again, my love," she breathed. The gates creaked open, and the princess rode into the night, cloak billowing like wings. Behind her, laughter and music echoed, unaware that destiny had already turned its wheel. But dawn brought discovery. "My lord," stammered a terrified guard, "the princess, she's gone, and your mare missing." Odo's bellow shook the towers. "What? Where is she?" He seized the captain by the throat. "She was in her chambers last night." "She's beyond your reach now," Heinrich said, stepping forward. "Find another victim for your cruelty." Odo snarled. "You know where she fled. Even if I did, I'd never tell you." The giant's eyes blazed. "Then Odo find her himself." He turned to his stallion, the mighty shadow runner, whose eyes burned with crimson fire. "Find her. Bring her back, or no more dawn for these lands." With a scream that split the sky, the demon steed thundered forth, sparks flying beneath its hooves. Thus began the chase, a pursuit that would span 3 kingdoms and shake the mountains themselves. Across moonlit plains and frost-bitten valleys they raced, Brunhilda's hair streaming like a comet's tail, her heart both terrified and exultant. "Fly, sweet one," she urged, "show me what freedom tastes like." But Odo's beast was born of darker magic, hungry, relentless, unstoppable. Villagers watched in awe and fear as a streak of silver and a shadow of flame tore through their fields. At last, the princess reached the world's edge, where cliffs plunged into endless mist, and even the bravest knights turned back. "Easy, brave heart," she whispered to her mare. "We've outrun the night, but not by far." Across the chasm lay the Har Mountains, Heinrich's homeland, salvation within sight, yet separated by a gulf no mortal could cross. Then the air grew cold, and the ground trembled. Odo had found her. His massive form blotted out the stars. "No sky left," he growled. "No hiding. Little birdland now. Odo cage you." Brunhilda raised her chin, eyes blazing. "I'm no bird to be caged, Odo. I'm the wind itself." "No," he roared. "You mine, only Odo's." The mare pawed the cliff's edge, sensing her mistress's resolve. "You know what I'm thinking, don't you?" Brunhilda whispered. "It's madness, but better to fall free than live chained." And in that moment, between earth and sky, between captivity and freedom, she made her choice. With a cry that pierced the heavens, Brunhilda spurred the mare forward. They soared across the chasm, hearts and hooves defying gravity, bathed in the light of dawn. Time itself seemed to halt as they flew. Then, with a shudder, they landed safely on the far side. Brunhilda dismounted, trembling, tears of triumph streaming down her cheeks. "Rest now, noble one," she murmured. "You've carried me to freedom." Across the gulf, Odo stood dumbfounded. "Impossible," he howled. "No mortal makes such leap." "Go back to your frozen wastes, Odo," she called. "Some treasures cannot be stolen." Rage consumed him. "If Odo cannot have you," he bellowed, "then no one will." He charged forward, but pride always comes before the fall. The cliff gave way, and with a roar that echoed for miles, the giant and his infernal steed plunged into the gorge below, crashing into the silver river with a sound like thunder. For a moment all was still. Then the waters frothed and boiled, and from their depths rose a monstrous hound, its eyes burning with eternal fury. Thus was Odo transformed by his own wrath, bound forever to guard the treasure he could never possess. Far above, Brunhilda looked down one last time. "May your rage keep you company, giant," she whispered, and turned toward the mountains. When she reached the valley of Har, Heinrich was waiting. "I felt it," he said, voice trembling. "I felt in my bones you were coming home." "Home," she whispered, tasting the word as if for the first time. "Yes, I understand that word now." She held out his ring. "I told you I'd return it." He took her hand gently. "Keep it, my brave princess. You've slain a giant and defied fate itself. You've earned the right to wear it forever." And so the tale of Princess Brunhilda ended, as all true stories should, with love victorious, courage rewarded, and evil bound by its own nature. In time, her name became legend, a beacon for those who dared to choose freedom over fear. And some say that on moonlit nights, when the wind sighs across the mountain peaks, you can still see a brown mare running wild among the stars, her mane trailing starlight. And far below, in the gorge's shadowed depths, a spectral hound guards a golden crown that will never again rest upon a captive head, a reminder that true power lies not in chains or conquest, but in the unyielding heart of one brave princess who chose to be free.